Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and happy Sunday, September 1st of 2024. Now I decided that this week's journaling I needed to take a kind of a spin from my is it good not to care and is it good not to know. That was kind of my journaling that came through last week for me. It's like there's all this angst I was having, and I'm like, is it better not to care? Is it better not to know these things? And etc. So when I went into this week's journaling, I decided to have a completely different mindset. And I thought, what if I focused on the idea of being in awe of being alive? In fact, every single Sunday, I start my Sunday email by saying, it's a beautiful day to be alive. It's an amazing day to be alive. It's an epic day to be alive. And honestly, I absolutely feel that way. So I kind of thought this week, why don't I focus and write down the things that come in, ask my higher self, what does it really mean to be in awe of being alive? Because I think we forget with all the crazy stuff happening in the world that we are here to experience this amazing physical body. We are these beautiful consciousness beings, and we're here in this body to experience it. And I think the cool thing is that more and more of us every single day are realizing that we are just balls of pure, beautiful love. And we can let all the things bug us and destroy our mood and destroy our life, or, get all emotional and upset about it, or we can just simply enjoy being alive. So the first thing I did is I wrote down this quick list of all the things that remind me to be in awe. Now, the very first thing was the sunrise and the sunset. Think about that. Every single morning, the sun comes up. Every single evening, the sun goes down. And it's absolutely stunningly gorgeous on some days. Now, it's beautiful every single day. In fact, what I try to do every morning is I make up a cup of tea, and I take my tea outside. I get my feet in the grass, and I have this little stone bench that I sit on that faces the mountains on the east where the sun rises. So I ground, I put my feet in the grass, I'm sipping on my tea, and I'm literally helping the circadian rhythm of my body by watching the sunrise. And some days it's just simply watching the glow come up over the mountains, and some days the sky is on fire with reds and yellows and greens from the mountains, but just orange and all these beautiful colors. It's a beautiful reminder that there are things that we miss sometimes that are a reminder of just the magic of being here. And then the same with sunsets. I've always been a person who tries to be somewhere outside or looking out a window, especially if it's a winter sunset, where I can watch the sunset because they're so stunning. Now, along with that comes the night sky. And if you've ever been in a place where there's no light noise, say you go camping, or you're somewhere where you're maybe out in the country, with a tiny town where there's not a whole bunch of lights from a big city, and you can literally see the sky full of stars, then you know how magical that is. So the night sky. And then right along with that comes the ocean's waves. This is something that, when I've stood with my feet in the sand, with the waves, the surf coming in on my feet, and I've got my, my pant legs rolled up so that the waves can splash on me. There is something that just makes you tingle with excitement, because here's you, this little tiny person with a great big soul, and there is the ocean. And talk about awe-inspiring. This is something that I think for everyone who's been to an ocean, a beach, and has experienced this knows exactly what I'm talking about. So the thing to do if you find yourself at an ocean, don't have your phone with you. If you're on the phone, making a sale, making a deal, talking to your friends, that's all okay too. But the thing is I think that we get in our minds, sometimes, I've seen people standing in the ocean, and I've kind of walked by, and they're scrolling social media, or they're taking photos and posting on social media. And again, there's no judgment on that. But I think if we leave our technology aside and we really experience the power and the majesty of the ocean's waves, that to me is a reminder of what it feels like and is like to be alive. And then these things quickly: a baby's laugh, blooming flowers, right? The first snowfall. This is something I love about being in Utah, is we get these consistent seasons, and the first time you get these big fat snowflakes that fall, there's just something really beautiful about that. Birds in flight. When I watch the birds flying south, or the birds, we have a lot of birds in our yard, and we see a lot of birds migrating south, coming north. We see a lot of birds, and if you really pay attention and realize how amazing it is to watch birds in flight, it is magical. It is magical. Even a heartfelt hug, that connection with another person. The majestic mountains. This is, as a mountain lover, it would be very difficult for me to choose between living near the mountains or living near the ocean. I love both. I think it would be nice to visit the other one, since I live in the mountains or live by the mountains. It'd be very lovely to have a place that I could go to on a regular basis just to experience and stay with that beautiful part of being near an ocean. And then the last thing I wrote here was just the beautiful, awe-inspiring change of seasons. And if you live in a place where you get all 4 seasons, you know how amazing it is when the seasons change. And it's the word of this video is magical. So here's some things I wrote. We want to be in awe. We don't want to just visit. We don't want to just be a visitor here. We want to experience. And then here's what I wrote. We want to be a child of wonder and astonishment. We want to learn to play, explore, experience, be curious, not be afraid, and we want to remember to be in our body. I think we get so sucked into technology, we get so sucked into a movie or, whatever we're doing, that we forget to actually be in our body. What does it feel like to move? What does it feel like to breathe? What does it feel like to take a cold plunge or a cold shower? Get in a swimming pool, get some sunshine on as much part of your body as you can for 10 or 15 minutes. Put on a skimpy bathing suit and go get some vitamin D. Being in this body is being in this body. And what all these things do, this gives you freedom. It gives you mental freedom, emotional freedom, and it can give you physical freedom because you're enjoying this body, right? It's about the miracle and mystery of being alive, because I think we forget. So we all have something to give. We all have this beautiful light. And when we are living in awe of being here, the light that we have to give comes out. It's automatic. It's about being in gratitude, right? We are here to experience the wonder of having a body, to know that we are each other, to know that we are the same. We are all made of the same stuff, and we go to the same stuff. We're born, we live our life, and then we go back to the earth. We need to remember that during these times. In fact, I think that's actually a really sweet, beautiful place to finish this. I think the main message is, it's easy to get caught in all the denseness of what's happening in the world right now, and even to get triggered by the little things. In fact, on Friday, after I finished my little morning routine, I opened up my email, and I got a email from YouTube saying they had removed one of the videos that I had done with Dr. Nielsen. And this video is not a new one. This is probably 7 or 8 years old. And the title of it was, let me think if I can remember, it was about helping with tinnitus, ringing in your ears, sinusitis, and congestion in your ears, and congestion in your sinuses. So it was basically like how to relieve tinnitus and ringing in your ears, and then congestion. And it was the oddest thing. It was actually one of my most viewed videos. It had a ton of views on it, and partly because it wasn't new, and to have YouTube just remove it, so I'd spent the whole week journaling about being in awe. So what it actually did is there was no anger, there was no frustration. This is not the first time I've had content removed. So I was kind of like, wow, this is the most interesting time that we are living in if with this type of censorship. It actually stunned me. In fact, what I'm going to do is I might not be able to do it to attach to this video, but I'm going to find that original video. I'm going to post it on Rumble, and then I will make sure that you get a link. So it's not up yet. I've got to find the original video. It was actually a really good video with some really good tips on how to help with some of these health issues. So I think if we can go through our day with whatever comes at us and look at it with a different lens, because I'm not happy that happened, but very quickly it kind of turned into a little bit of amusement and a little bit of its own kind of awe, because this is a temporary thing. We're here for a temporary time. What is it? I don't have a huge following on YouTube. It's like, I don't monetize YouTube, but it was just very interesting. So I hope that you can walk through this first week in September with just simple awe of being alive and appreciate being in this physical body. If you have a rainstorm this week, put on your rain boots and go splash in a puddle. I don't care how old you are. Do something that takes you back to childhood, and something that makes your heart sing, something that makes you happy, because that's what it's all about. That's why we're here. So thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. This last 4 months of 2024 is going to continue to be interesting. So I appreciate you all being here, and I'd love to know what you think about this about the idea of being in awe and appreciating all the things that we have. In fact, if you noticed, my hands are yellow. I just made a delicious drink that I make. It's my inflammation shot. I do 1 to 2 ounces every day, but it's got fresh ginger, fresh turmeric, and then lemon, orange, and grapefruit juice, fresh squeezed. And it's a beautiful inflammation shot. In fact, I'll put the recipe below. But I make it up every 2 or 3 weeks. I keep it in the refrigerator, and it's powerful and crazy, but it stains my hands for a couple of days afterward. But that's part of the fun, right? Part of the fun of being in this physical body. So I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and we will see you next time.